Business, a person's occupation, profession, or trade. Connection, a relationship in which a person or idea is linked or associated with something else. Welcome to Business Connection. Each week, our program will offer inspiration to navigate the business world. Information you can use to succeed in any field. And we will help you focus on your goals. Join us now for Business Connection with your host, BC Clark.
Hello, and welcome to the Business Connection. As you know, I interview individuals across the state, no matter what the agency is, no matter what the business is, because we want to bring visibility to those who are in our community. And today, my guest is Hector. Hector, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Why don't you give us a little bit of information, your name and...
Yeah, no, for sure. So like BC said, my name's Hector Sarmiento. I'm a newer agent here in Omaha, Nebraska. I work with Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. I also help run a family business. We do early childhood education, preschool, daycare. It's called Children's Angel Childcare. And so I run location 3. My office is on 144th and Maple. We're licensed for about 66 kids. And yeah, so I'm very excited to be here. I love BC. She's been a great connection, no pun intended. And no, she's awesome, right? She's the one-stop shop for business. So I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. So I wanted to talk a little bit because there's been a lot of talk about real estate and being newer to the industry. I wanted to kind of get your take on what you're seeing. And, because people are saying, oh, well, there's no inventory, and now the interest rates are out of the roof and all that. So could you speak on that a little bit so that people understand what it is?
No, for sure. So like BC said, and working with these newer folks who are just now shopping, that's just what there is, right? So these interest rates are a lot higher than maybe what you guys were used to, and what current homeowners might be at, like a 3%, right? But with new home buyers, that's just their norm. So it's either you buy a house and get used to the newer rate, or those older folks feel like they're locked into their house because they've got that prime rate. So obviously, yes, for those older folks, they don't want to get out of that interest rate, right? Getting that newer house might seem awesome. It seems like but financially they might not do it just because of it'll be way too high, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of creates this lock-in sensation. So, but like I said, with my newer folks, I mean, they're not used to those lower interest rates.
Right, so
I mean, home ownership is expensive, so they can't afford, what they could have afforded, 2-3 years ago. But for now, that's just what they can afford. So obviously, if they would have been on the market a couple of years ago, they'd be like, oh no, we're waiting until these rates drop. But that's just their reality right now. So it's not as fortunate. I know you probably have a great rate on your house
too.
But I like I said, it's just the reality, and that's just people have to accommodate to what's kind of going on right
now. So what is the actual prime?
Like I think like 6.8, 6.9. I think after, so there's like my understanding, now I'm not a loan officer, right? But my understanding is, so there's a rate that you see, it's the one they advertise, and then there's after, it's like APR, right? After all the fees and whatnot, there's an actual, that's what you're actually paying. So that rate's always a little higher, and I think that one's at like 6.8, and then the advertised rate is probably a little lower.
No more 4 point anything.
No, not right now.
And I think that's what people are talking about now. Some of the people that have been in homes for a long time, they're like, I would love to upgrade, but I'm not going to pay 6 points.
No, exactly.
And they would say, someone had, I think a realtor told them, it's like, hey, because you have so much equity in your home, you won't even see that. Yes, you will.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I mean, so I think they're going to just hold there. But you're right. The younger folks who are just anxious to get into a house and can do that, they're going to, they
yeah,
think it's just the norm.
exactly. It's
6.8,
just it's just their norm, right? So like I said, for the people who are already in homes, kind of like locks them in. Um, and for the folks who are saying like, we'll wait until the prices drop. Well, the price, I mean, they could, right?
They
But
could.
I mean, they just keep going up, right?
Yeah, they do.
Statistically, like from last year, they're just
It's
going
going
up.
up.
So
Yeah, there's
I
no.
think I saw average home prices right around 429. So I mean, that's expensive, right? So those home prices just keep going up.
Yeah, they do, and they will. I can't see them going down or anything anytime soon. So, so this is a business, but I also want you to talk a little bit about when you first got, because you've been in business for
Yeah.
how old are you?
Oh my. Well, I'm just 21.
Yeah, right.
I'm just 21. So
No.
yeah, I'm 21, but I've grown up in the business.
Yes, that's
So
okay.
I've grown
So
up in the
you've been,
business.
so you were in the business when you were
Oh
like
my
7.
gosh. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I know that because I know the family,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, you've been in
exactly.
business for a
No,
long
no,
time.
no.
So let me ask you this. So there's a lot of young people your age that are now just getting into business. They haven't had the opportunity to grow up in a business, right?
Yeah.
In a business family. So when some of the things that they're going through, you've already been through when you were like 10, okay? Yeah, because you've been running the third
I've been running the third
location.
location since I was 18.
Yeah, yeah.
18.
So, and most people are still in school,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And most of them you're in your age bracket right now.
Yeah.
And most of them don't even realize business exists,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So, what would be some of the things that you would say to those individuals out there now that are thinking of starting a business,
Yeah.
what struggles, I want to say, did you have? But now, of course, you had a mentor because you
Yeah.
were in the business for a
No.
long time. But think about if that mentor would not have been there and the family backing of the businesses would
Yeah.
not have been there. What could you give them as far as some information that they could use and be able to give them some insight into business? What would you tell them before getting started into the business?
I'd say obviously mentorship is crucial.
Yeah.
Like that's a no-brainer, right? But if I were to set apart the mentorship, I would say being you have to have grit. So just kind of finding because challenges will come. It's just part of business. It ebbs and flows, right? So challenges come no matter what. When those challenges come, you learn from those mistakes, right? So as hard as it may be, you got to learn to almost appreciate those mistakes because you learn from them.
Absolutely.
And so, and that also when you just learn from that, right? So that comes with grit and just be observant. I'd say for me is just kind of make like a punch list of things maybe you can improve on, like some personal skills you might need to adjust little by little, whether it be communicating, just chatting with people. Obviously, business is built off relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you have to learn how to communicate. So for me,
Networking.
that was a big one. Just learning to talk to people, stuff like that.
Because when you
So
grow up and you're a boss
yeah,
at 18,
yeah,
17, and been in that, it's normal for you, okay? So a tip that I would give to anyone that's just starting out is, number one, make sure that they do their research on whatever industry they plan to go
yeah,
into, and make sure that they get the education they need, so that they feel confident in what they're
yes,
getting ready to do. Because oftentimes there may not be a mentor, or there may not be, and that's why I wanted you to talk about that, because it is a difference,
yeah,
okay?
yeah,
It's definitely a difference
yeah,
in having someone that can be there to watch each step that you go through and each mistake that you make or try to make. It's either stop because someone else already knows better.
Exactly.
Right? You know, and so you can continue to grow. And then as you get to the point where you're now walking in that space and owning that space,
Yeah.
and whatever struggles you get up, you can talk about it to someone who's already been there,
Yeah.
that's close to you,
Yeah.
and will give you the right information, and
Yeah.
you don't have to worry. But someone that doesn't have all those, you know, I want to say safety guards around them, their struggle becomes a little different in growing into the business as opposed to growing up with the business. And so, but to see you and see where you are right now and what you've gone through and the stuff that you've walked through, I would think that a lot of people probably come up to you and ask you, do they know that you have all these businesses that you've been around or been in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't overshare. I try not to.
Okay.
But yeah, when I ask, like you said, and like I said prior, like I can't really take credit for any of it. It's just been that mentorship. So I mean, if you are the sum of the people you hang around with, right? So you gotta hang around like-minded people who are not gonna tell you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear.
Absolutely.
And obviously someone who's gonna challenge you, right? So just make sure you're getting involved. And that just comes with that mentorship. And it's also not just sitting and listening to the advice, it's taking it and applying it too.
Action.
Yeah. You gotta put some action behind it, right?
Yeah. And I think it's what's difficult is the economy now is really crazy for anyone that's out there trying to start a business because of not only the inflation, but you know, interest rates and all this stuff. And then banks are leery right now about loaning business loan, especially if you're new starting out.
Yeah.
There's a challenge there, you know, so I would say the things that they need to really put in place is to make sure that they have done their research, that they do understand the industry, that they are at least, if not working in that industry right now for someone else, but that they would part-time in that industry to really kind of understand the operations of that.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. I mean,
No, for
whether
sure.
it's construction or whether it's going into IT or whatever that is, you need to know about that industry.
Exactly.
And you need to be able to understand more than just see it from outside. It's so much better to be able to go into those fields, maybe try to get a part-time job there or whatever, to work it for a while. And I've actually told this to several people, and they've done that. And they were thinking, man, if I hadn't have done that, I don't know if I could make it out on my own. So mentorship is really good, but also your hands in the dough, as I always tell people, your hands in the dough helps you to feel it, helps you to understand how to part it up, helps you understand what you can do with it, right? As opposed to seeing someone or someone telling you what you can do. Because no matter what you learn in education, it has to be applied. And if you don't apply it in the right way, and the thing too is you can go to school, it doesn't tell you everything. You have to be out there to see it, to feel it, to smell it, to understand it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and I think you're exactly right, even with real estate. So obviously as a realtor, you have to go through licensing and you have to take an exam, right?
Yeah.
And the exam is written to fail you, right? It's written
of course.
to, the
That's why so many fail it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, they don't want to just give everyone a license,
No.
right? And so with that, the exam is written in a way where you fail, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't, studying for the exam doesn't translate right over to the business, right? So
Right.
I know folks who, pass the exam and then fail the business, right?
Yeah.
And vice versa,
Yeah.
I've heard of top agents here in Omaha who pass after like 5 attempts or who were literally going to give up. And then, their last time they passed and now they're the top agent in Omaha, right? So
And it just shows you the different examples
yeah,
too,
exactly.
of people. There's people that won't give up until they get to where they're trying to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's some that say, I've tried it 3 times.
Yeah,
I didn't get
no,
it. It must
exactly.
not be for me.
And for those people, exactly. And so for those people, they study for the exam, they pass the exam, right?
Yeah.
And then they expect success.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not,
it.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
not like that. Because I think what they don't realize is that there's footwork you have to do.
Exactly. And that just comes with like feeling out the business, right?
Yes, you
So,
have to go through it.
yeah, exactly. So, It's a hard business, real estate. There's a lot of agents out there.
Oh, it's a
There's a
ton
lot
of
of
agents.
agents, right?
I think, Phil, right now it appears to me that, I don't know, that industry might be a little, I don't think they have room for anybody else right
Yeah, yeah,
now.
no, for
I'm so
sure,
serious because,
for sure.
everybody I know, I mean, even young people have gotten the real estate license,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
It's like I said, business is built off relationships, right?
yeah.
So,
And
with
key
real estate, it's
things,
just relationships.
it is.
Yeah.
Key things is that if there's no networking happening, because you have to get out in order for people to know who you are and what
Yeah,
you
no,
do.
exactly.
So a lot of people, once they get the license, they think that people are going to automatically come to them. Well, that doesn't even make any sense to
No.
me because it's like, number one, they don't know you're there.
Yeah,
And number two, you haven't proven anything to them.
yeah,
They don't know you. They don't know you. They
yeah,
don't know you. They don't know you.
yeah.
So the way to get known is to get out,
Yep,
right? You can't stay in the place that you are and expect people to go and just automatically come to
yeah,
you because you told your friend that now you passed and you have the license. I know someone that did
yeah.
this. Well, aren't people going to come because
No,
we're listed at the
you're
state?
just starting.
And I'm
That's the
like,
starting line.
and I said, you're listed at the state. Yeah, well, you have to take the license and so I did
Yeah,
all that. And so I sat there for a moment and because I wanted her to think about what she was saying.
yeah,
And and she said, yeah, I don't understand. I mean, I did my part.
yeah.
That's what she said. And I
No.
said, what part was that? And she
Yeah,
said, well, I took the test and I studied and all that. I said, but
yeah,
now you have to own this business. You have to
yeah,
get out and be the business. You have to do the business.
yeah,
You're the sign for the business,
yeah, exactly.
And I said, and so she said, well, I think I'm gonna just be a broker. I thought, my God, she went from left to right and fell in the hole.
Mm-mm,
That's exactly what
mm-mm.
happened.
No, exactly. I mean, legally, she couldn't even do that, right?
No, I know.
You've gotta wait
She
3 years.
she didn't even know.
Yeah, no, for
That's
sure.
what I thought. I thought, well, I said, I think what you need to do is talk to some other realtors
Yeah,
before you jump further.
no, for
And I
sure.
said, the other thing too is that here's some places that I go to network.
Mm.
I said, there's bankers there, there's realtors there, there's all kinds of
Yeah,
different industries there. You need to go and make relationships. And she said, well, do you think I really need to do that? I said, I wouldn't be giving it to you if I didn't think you need to do it. I said,
yeah,
because you have no relationships with anybody. And she said, well, I have a lot of friends. I said, are they in real estate? Well, no. I said, are they in banking? No.
no.
I said, are they CPAs? No. I said, and I'm not trying to say you need to have these people, but these are
Yeah.
people you should know.
No, 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 for sure.
Because if
Exactly.
if you're thinking of starting this
Yeah.
business and you want to do something, you need to know
Yeah.
what they do because it's direct influence into your business. If you're going to be selling a house, you need to know what the bankers think. You need to know how to make sure you set things up.
Yep.
I said, and the person you're selling this house to, they may not know anything about the financial piece. They may not have gone to a bank to get pre-approved, although we hope they do.
Yeah.
And you can tell them they should get pre-approved first, so it makes less work for you.
Mhm.
So you're not showing people houses and they don't even qualify. So she was like, that's why I just wanted to say that I wanted to have you on because I know that people that have licenses now,
Yeah.
they really don't
Yeah.
know what they're doing.
Well, I think it's true, right? You can make a lot of money in any avenue of business,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
As long
If
as
you're
you
doing the right
dedicate,
thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you
Do your
dedicate time,
homework.
right? Yep.
Yep.
You dedicate your time and you aim for excellence, right?
Yeah.
So I think with real estate, the deception is you make instant money, right? And it takes time. Everything takes time, and that goes back to the grit, right? Where you need to learn from your mistakes and grow.
Yep.
Those mistakes are going to make you a better realtor
Yep.
and a better
A better
entrepreneur,
person.
and a better entrepreneur, a better
Yes.
person,
Yep.
right? Because I mean, just as you go through life, you learn, right?
Yes,
And I
absolutely.
hope, like myself, I touched the stove one too many times to learn the lesson, but I mean, some people are like that. Some
Yeah.
people learn right off the bat. Some
Yeah.
people just take the advice, right? And
Don't do anything with it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And some people don't even take the advice.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's kind of weird.
yeah,
It
well,
really is.
yeah. So for the new agent who's obviously there's tracks to, getting to that next level or making the first sale. For that newer agent, if we've got a new agent watching,
Yeah.
I'd say reach out to a team. Obviously, network with other realtors, right? If you can get on a team, I
Yeah.
think that's your best way because you get that instant mentorship. You get those instant connections. Yes, you might lose, some commission, right?
Yeah.
But in return, you get a lot more help. You
Yes.
learn the business,
And
right? You're
they need the
given
help.
clients
Right.
depending on the team, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think if you're wanting to excel faster, yeah, definitely join a team, right? Um, but yeah, so again, I heard that advice with running the family business. I wasn't able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, I've got another business I've got to run, and so uh, the teams I had interviewed with wanted me there from a certain time, and that just wasn't going to
Doesn't want to
work,
work.
right?
Yeah.
So I had to take the slower route,
Yeah.
and yeah, so that's how I've had to learn, right? I've had to
Mm-hmm.
learn from firsthand experience.
Yep.
Obviously, Berkshire is awesome. We've
Yep.
got some great brokers over there who
Mm-hmm.
just, they never fail to pick up the phone, answer
Yep.
all the questions I have. It's a great brokerage.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
shout out
I'm
to my
sure.
brokerage. But
Yeah.
no, they're awesome. They're great
Yeah.
people. We're the biggest brokerage in town for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
We've got, I'd say, the most structure. It's awesome.
I would
It's
believe
great.
that.
It's big, but some people feel like, oh, well, it's big. We won't have that one-to-one, with
Mm-hmm.
someone who can mentor me. Um, although honestly, it kind of does feel like that just because
Mm-hmm.
I've got more people I can reach out to,
Right.
right? So I can I say bother,
Mm-hmm.
but I ask more questions, when they come, right? Because no transactions exactly alike.
Right. Everything
Uh,
is different. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean,
And that's the thing
yeah,
too. You gotta.
you'll get yeah, you'll get some similar transactions, but no transition
Transaction.
yeah, is alike, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. I
it's
think
good to
so.
go to various people,
Mm-hmm.
and also just to get different opinions.
You
So,
know, what I like is realtors was always kind of a prestigious um, uh,
title,
title.
yeah,
Well, not only title, but you notice how they dressed,
yeah.
always dressed professional, right? No, no, they did, always did.
hmm
And now I see realtors that are younger and they dress like, you know, with jeans. I don't want you to show me a house.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, right? And
So,
this is
but
just being an
I'm
entrepreneur.
from the old school
No,
though, you know.
for sure. No, it's. I mean, in the end, you're an entrepreneur. As a
That's
realtor,
right.
you sell houses, right?
Yeah.
So you, from building a company, right? From building a brand,
Hmm.
you are what you want to build. So
That's
if you
right.
want to be known as the realtor who looks like $1 million, well, obviously that's more
And people will
you
want
look
you to sell their
exactly.
$1 million house.
Exactly. And even, the whole saying, fake it till you make
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
good though,
Yeah, no,
because
I
if you
mean,
do fake it until you make it, at least you're going to be trying to look,
yeah,
look the part.
I mean,
That's what they
yes,
talk about,
right?
looking the part.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that you have to go out and buy, millions of dollars of clothes,
hmm
but look the part that people are
Exactly.
expecting, because
Yep.
that's been the tradition
Yep.
with realtors for years,
Yeah, no.
right? I mean, you see people come out, they're dressed from the head to the toe,
hmm
and looking good. So you want them to show your house. You want them to show you a house,
Oh, yeah,
right?
like he's my
Because
agent.
they go different, and
Yeah, yeah, no,
like
for
go in,
sure.
they'll say, we have this kitchen, and
Yeah.
they'd explain and talk about it. It makes you want to live in the kitchen right now,
Yeah. Yeah.
But now it's so different. Yeah, this is a house, and da 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 da, and
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, it's at the end of the day, they're your like one-stop shop for buying a house, right?
yeah.
And I know if you were to go have someone representing you, an example would be like an attorney,
Hmm.
you want them to come dressed up suit and tie,
Yeah,
right? You want someone
absolutely.
professional,
You're
right? So
looking for that, yeah.
from a consumer's perspective, you
Hmm.
want the, nicer dressed,
Yeah, you want to,
professional looking
yeah.
realtor, right? So
I think that's
um,
what we should have.
yeah, for those new realtors, and yeah, I think, you know, you got to dress like you're gonna sell $1 million, and that's
Yeah,
just having confidence and yeah, like you said, dress the part, right?
Yeah, just dress the part. It doesn't mean that you have to, go out and spend a whole lot of money, but you can look nice, you can look professional, you can look pressed, I mean, even if you don't have all the clothes, you have clothes that you can put together and make outfits, right? I do it every day. And I don't do a long planning of this. I just say, okay, this goes together, that goes together. Nobody has to tell me. And so I do that, right? So when I'm working with someone, especially if it's a realtor, in just a client period, I want them to see me at my best, and I want to see them at their best. So when clients come, I'll say, okay, so, and they're having trouble with sales. Okay, so just say if it's a construction person, right? Now, it's okay to wear your construction stuff when you're on the work site.
Yeah.
But when you're meeting with new clients that are looking for you to build something for them, or, or renovations, whatever,
exactly.
you need to wear your nice shirt and your slacks.
No, for sure.
Okay. So I have, construction guys come to me and they'll say, those polos that you got for this other organization. So he said, all of them wear this, this shirt, and they wear their khaki or their navy pants. And, did you, because the guy said that you helped them with that. And I was like, yeah. He said, well, who didn't? So I helped him get some polo shirts from a place that I don't normally go. But I said, when you're going to talk to someone in an office building, when they're talking to you about building something for them, they don't want you to look like the people that's working for you.
Yeah.
They want to see the boss come in,
No, for sure.
dressed appropriately. And he was like, and this is a Latino guy, and he was like, well, I didn't know. And, so I was just trying to, he makes a lot of money, but he never had to go to the big office and talk to people. So he was like, is this okay? I was like, no. And he said, well, I know, this other place you helped them get there. I was like, yeah. I said, we can do that. But no, you can't go looking like with dirt on you and paint and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You got to clean up, put on your polo shirt, your khaki pants. I said, and when you walk into the office, don't wear your boots, wear your shoes. He said, oh, man, we got to buy some shoes that are loafers. Get you some loafers, some nice loafers.
Yeah.
And so now when he comes to meet me, you don't come.
Yeah.
He comes with his polo
suit,
shirt with his
he's ready to
name,
go.
yeah.
Oh, wow, he's got a name
Yeah.
tag?
Oh, yeah. I put I got them the
You got
polos that
embroidered?
had the business name there.
Oh, I got you.
Also, I had them make up name tabs for him and his two executives that work with him.
Oh, wow.
So, now but it made him feel like a boss.
Well, yeah, that too. And it adds confidence. And
Yes.
I think the most fun thing about entrepreneurship is you get to set the bar, right? In your business, you set the standards, right?
You have to set the
No one
standard.
makes the rules.
And the culture
Yeah,
for your business,
exactly.
for
Yeah.
your business. And I
Exactly.
told him, I said, you talk to your guys, they don't talk for you, okay?
Yeah.
When someone tells them, hey, I want to have this done, you tell them they need to talk to the boss. And he said, yeah, because a lot of times, they'll come and tell me. I said, yeah, and then pretty soon they'll be and start taking the people that.
Yeah, your
And he
customers.
said, he goes like, oh, S word. He said, I didn't think about that. And I was like, yeah, because they come in and well, consulting, for consulting on what they want to do next, or stuff like that. And so I said, yeah, so don't. Just tell them that they need to refer that to the boss, because they can't give them pricing or anything like that. They shouldn't. And he said, well, and then he had me come in and talk to the guys one time to let them know. So anyway, we have just gotten into a conversation because we know each other. However, Hector, thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate all the stuff that you told us. And we ran out of time, but anyway, you know what? Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
You're with Ambassador Real Estate for your
Ambassador
that,
Real Estate,
and Children's Angels is your other business
Yes,
on
it is.
144th.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you, guys. All right. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you
We'll
for
see you
having
next
me.
time.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Take
Thank
care.
you.